Thank you for the introduction. As a little bit of background, heat stress reduces feed intake and stunts growth of broilers, along with increasing feed-to-gain ratios, mortality, and susceptibility to disease. All of this results in increased losses due to reduced performance, increased costs of production, and reduced animal welfare. Amino acid supplementation has been shown to improve heat stress broiler performance, along with increasing dietary fat. Our previous study developed a dietary recommendation for heat stress broilers. As such, with this trial, we aimed to further build off and refine those results by determining the digestible methionine and cysteine requirements of heat stress male and female raw 708 broilers through supplementation of a deficient basal diet with 99% DL methionine. Our hypothesis was that increasing digestible methionine and cysteine content of the diet will improve performance of heat stress broilers to an extent, after which a plateau will be observed. Zero-day-old sex-separated raw 708 broiler chicks were placed in 9 rooms containing 6 2 by 2.3 meter pens at a stocking density of 31 kilograms per meter squared, based on estimated body weights at 35 days of age. This resulted in 68 females per pen, or 60 males per pen. Males and females were fed sex-specific common starter and grower diets. On day 21, the birds were switched on to the experimental finisher diets, and on days 28 to 33, birds were exposed to heat stress with a 12-hour period of 31 degrees Celsius and a 12-hour period at 21 degrees Celsius, with a minimum relative humidity of 50%. The finisher diets consisted of 6 treatments, 1 basal diet that was deficient in methionine and cysteine containing 0.49% as fed, and 5 diets that were supplemented with DLM at 0.05, 0.09, 0.17, 0.29, and 0.45%, replacing silicon dioxide. 5 rooms consisted of male broilers and 4 rooms consisted of female broilers, with 6 pens per room for 5 male reps per treatment and 4 female reps per treatment. This is an overview of the finisher diet composition. And this is the estimated finisher basal diet composition. Moving on to data collection. Data collection consisted of body weight and feed weights, which were collected at days 0, 21, 28, and 33, which was used to calculate body weight gain, feed intake, and feed to gain ratios. As well, on day 34, birds were slaughtered to measure live weight, carcass weight, pectoralis major and minor weights, wings, whole thighs, whole drumsticks, and back and rack weights. All data was analyzed using the nonlinear procedure in SAS version 9.4. All data was tested for normality and significant effects, and all data was analyzed as an exponential regression. For the exponential regression, the top equation was the model that we used to generate, where y is dependent variable, b0 is the response when inclusion of DLM was 0, of b1 is the difference between the minimum and maximum response, b2 is the slope of the exponential curve, and x is the added DLM as percent as fed. The second equation was used to estimate requirements at 95% of the plateau. Next, I will be going into the results. This graph shows the effects of added DLM on the x-axis, on body weight gain of male broilers on the y-axis. Overall, we saw a gradual increase to increased dietary DLM concentrations, which reached its plateau at approximately 0.115% added DLM. For female body weight gain, we observed a slightly lower response, which plateaued around 0.287% DLM. For male feed to gain ratios, we observed a steady decrease as DLM content of the diet increased, which plateaued at approximately 0.184%. For female feed to gain ratios, we observed a slower response again, where we observed a plateau at approximately 0.238%. For Pectoralis major yield in males, we observed a quite rapid response to the yield, which appeared to reach its plateau around 0.043%. And again, with females, we observed a slightly slower response to DLM concentrations in the diet, with a plateau reached around 0.110%. When it came to developing a recommendation, we focused on feed to gain ratios, as feed costs are a major cost of production. As such, we determined that digestible methionine and cysteine content of approximately 0.69% as fed, resulting in a body weight gain of 1.27 kilos, a feed to gain ratio of 1.506, and a Pectoralis major yield of 18.6%. And for females, we estimated requirements to be approximately 0.73% as fed, with body weight gain of 1.11 kilograms, a feed to gain ratio of 1.537, and a Pectoralis major yield of 18.7%. Overall, we recommend dietary digestible methionine and cysteine requirements of broilers are 0.69 and 0.73% for male and female Ross 708 broilers respectively under cyclical heat stress conditions of 31 degrees Celsius and 21 degrees Celsius. I would like to thank the Poultry Management and Welfare Research Group, along with the University of Saskatchewan Poultry Research and Teaching Unit staff for all their help over the course of this research. We would also like to thank the Saskatchewan Chicken Industry Development Fund, as well as our funders, Avonic and NSERC, without whom this research would not have been possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dilshaan. Very interesting. I've got a question. You use the Ross 308 broilers,
708.
right? 708. What do you think? How different the requirement would be for the different strains of birds?
I am not sure. I think it could depend on severity of conditions to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's possible that they could be similar, but they could also be quite different. We actually just completed a trial where we are trying to actually assess this in 308s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that's the primary breeder's kind of role, to breed more for the heat stress susceptible birds?
I'm not sure. It could depend a lot based on.
I think it's happening. Yeah. So they will be a more adaptable to such challenge condition. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much.
We
thank
have
you.
we do have a question for Q&A.
We don't have a question. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, there is a question. Do you know if your recommendation has been applied in the field in broiler chicken flocks exposed to heat stress?
As of yet, not yet. We are currently working on getting this information out there, and any of the results from this research will be available. open access. And we are also working with Avonic to get that incorporated into their Chickamino 3.0 system as well for recommendations.
Okay. And you're waiting for hot summer, right? So thank you very much. I don't see any more questions.